And one of your exercises,
Like this?
yeah, see, that's not exactly happening. That's more of a side-to-side movement. And that's okay. That is okay, my friend. You're not the first person that's done that wrong. I'm going to tell you this. You should be able to turn your hips to the right, shift and turn your hips to the left. I'm going to work with you on this. Go ahead and turn them.
That's all I can turn.
That's okay. Now shift and turn them to the other direction. Yeah. Okay, do it again. You got to do this over and over. Right. Right. Shift them first. Shift means you do that. And then you turn them. Shift and rotate. Right. You got to do that every day. You're going to work on turning your hips and your trunk. So you cross your arms like I am here in this video. Now I want you to be able to turn your hips are going to rotate right and left with no movement in your. Now I have 3D and biofeedback, so I'm going to put a sensor on your hips, and we're going to see if you can keep one segment separated from the other in terms of movement. But that's one thing we got to work on. So you're working on this shift, keep your hips. So you go up to the top, turn your shoulders. Now bump the hips toward the target. Yep, a little more lateral first. Go to the top of your swing again. Turn. Now shift that way. Watch how I do this. My left knee.
See, this shifting thing is, that's what it's that part that is.
That move right there. You're just gonna feel this. You're doing it. You're doing it. Now, so that's just an exercise you do maybe 10 of those. So you go like this. You turn your hips to the right. Sorry, turn your shoulders to the right. Go ahead. Turn your shoulders to the right. Don't move your hips. Now watch me. Watch me. Look at my waist. It's not moving. You're just going to work on this in front of a bathroom mirror. All right, good. Do it again. You got 20 of those. You're familiar with reps. You got to go right. Okay. Now, after you're done 20 of those, now turn your hips without moving your shoulders. Good. Now turn the other way. Good. Good. So that's your homework. All right, now let's look at your golf swing. That's the exercise portion. That's a motor program. We got to build this in. All right, so from a technique standpoint, your posture is very good. Back's reasonably straight. I'm going to draw a line from the angle of the shaft through the top of the elbow. You're reaching too much. There's too much gap here. You just got to move a little closer, maybe about 2 or 3 inches. That's all you need. You're just reaching for it too much. And, frankly, you can see, here's what we're trying to do. The tip of tip of the knee, ball of the foot, top of the spine are in a plumb line. So your hands should be underneath your shoulders. So if I drop your hands right here, remember what I said to you earlier, I want you to push your hips back, slide your hands down your thighs till you reach the top of your knees.
Like that?
Do what I'm doing. Okay? Top of your knees are right here. Now put your hands together. That's how you stand. Don't arch your lower back. Good. Now, grab my sides here. I want you to feel this. Okay, ready? So what am I doing? I'm doing a slight tuck of the pelvis. I want to activate the core. Those muscles. Yeah. Good. Yep. Just a little bit. You don't want to arch your lower back. The reason is simple. If I arch my back, put your hands there, nothing's turned on. My glutes aren't turned on. My core's not turned on. But the minute I do this little tuck and I get my spine in a neutral pelvis position, my back is flat now. These are turned on. See that? So being able to rotate your pelvis is important. Have you ever cats and dogs? Turn that pelvis under. That's hard for you, but that's good. You're getting there. All right. So the swing is good. Here's what I want to show you. Hips are pushed back. it's a short backswing, but that's okay.
He has the most delayed. Like that is, yeah. I mean, he has the most delayed.
Right.
Backswing.
Right. I mean, he has a big pause. But you're coming right on the inside plane coming down, so that's good. See how your club follows that lower line? That's good. And that ball went pretty darn straight. So we made it.
Follow through sucks though. Like that, I don't know why. I guess.
Well, your footwork and your hips are your follow through is a function of how mobile or not mobile your pelvis is, and your feet. See, footwork's important. You got to roll this ankle in and ease come together. All that stuff is not that important right now. We got to get the face square consistently. Now this takeaway is a little bit underneath the plane. You see how it's going back under that yellow cone area? So watch how he takes it back. He's going to take it back more. Club head stays more to the outside of the hands, and the shaft stays pointed inward. And the reason he's able to do that is because he's not moving his hands here. Look, see this wrist angle doesn't move. So you're bending your wrists a little bit on the takeaway. You don't want to do that. You want to keep them the same. Alright, so this is pretty good though. I'm encouraged by the swing. It's pretty good. You can play pretty good with this. Your head doesn't move much. It's fairly still. Your lower body doesn't move forward too much, just fractionally. Right there. So it's pretty good. You don't have the flexibility Matsuyama has, but there are some.
Like that is ridiculous.
Right. Well, you see how. See, here's why these guys hit it far. It's called disassociation. Look where his shoulders are relative to his hips. Look at this. His pelvis is rotated about 50 degrees open to the target, and his shoulders are still turned about 60 degrees to the right.
How does he activate himself? I mean, how do you activate yourself to?
He has the ability to disassociate the segments, and so it's like snapping a towel in physics. If I accelerate one segment and decelerate, I transfer energy to the towel. So in the downswing, what he's doing, he's snapping his hips and then slowing them down, and then that transfers energy to the trunk, which then transfers energy to the arms and then to the club head.
Do you, when you go back, do you first activate?
Oh yeah.
Do you first activate the bottom to turn?
Yeah, but you see, there you got some other forces going on. You got vertical force; those guys are pushing up. But it all starts from pushing against the ground. Newton's second law: for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. If I push against the ground 300 pounds, it's going to push back at me in the form of vertical and rotational force.
Because that's the hardest. The hardest part I've had is making the connection with my body to turn my hips first.
Well, look, that's why I just gave you that exercise. Watch the lower body. As he's finishing the backswing, watch his lower body already start down. See the shift?
Is that Matsuyama?
No, this is a guy named Andrew LeVay. But it doesn't matter. That's the move. So I want you to work on the separation stuff. That's just some practice stuff. Now, as far as your swing is concerned, I want you to work on your impact position. Flat left wrist, the palm of the right hand, and this angle in the back of your right wrist. Take your grip. You're going to get your hips turned out of the way, and you're going to work on that impact until you can get there every time. You don't want to twist your hands. It's just going to naturally rotate with the turn of your body. See, if I connect my arms, right, and I turn back and I turn through. Yeah, it's just like if you were going to turn and hand me a barbell, you're going to keep this triangle intact. Right. So impact here, Alex, look.
But am I shifting with my legs like this?
Well, look, watch. You'll answer all your own questions. Watch. There's the lateral movement.
So his knees are never,
and there's rotation, and there's impact.
Okay.
So there's lateral and rotational components to the downswing.
So he never straightens his.
Oh yeah, he does. Watch.
Now.
Yeah, some guys straighten late, some guys straighten early. That's a preference more than it is a law. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too many things in your head, but I mean, you'll never have this guy's flexibility, so I don't even want to show you this guy. But he can turn his hips, and look, his right foot stays on the ground. That's incredible to be able to do that, have that much mobility.
Who's the most inflexible golfer in the PGA?
I don't know. I'd have to study it. I mean, you'd have to actually use a gyniometer and measure all that stuff.